Hello everybody, my name is Xuul, and welcome to my guide on modding Fallout 3 using Mod Organizer. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about weather and lighting mods. Now, before we begin discussing the actual mods, just a word of warning. Some of the clips are going to look really dark, and that is because YouTube seems to make things very dark sometimes, and there's not a lot I can do about it. That is just due to the compression on YouTube. I have adjusted the brightness ever so slightly in order to try and compensate, but I'm not 100% sure if it's going to make it better, so just keep that in mind. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at 3 different weather mods, each with their own unique flavor and style, and you're going to have to pick whichever one that you like the best on your own and install in your game. Don't worry, we're still going to be covering the installation at the end of the video, but for the first couple of minutes, we're going to be looking at the different mods. The mod that you've been seeing in the background so far is one of my personal favorites, DC Moods. DC Moods is a mod that changes the lighting and the weather in the game, removing the green haze, darkening the nights, and making the lights look very vivid. In all of these scenes, I've also added the Fallout Streetlights mod and the Megaton lighting overhaul for the scenes in Megaton. This definitely is a necessity, especially since these mods add darker nights. Fallout in particular makes the nights very black and the sky very blue. In the nights, the streetlights make things really awesome. I'd even recommend throwing in a flashlight for good measure if you're the kind of person who likes to explore at night. The differences between Fallout and DC Moods are mainly color and styling differences, as you've probably been able to tell so far. Fallout seems to make things very dark, DC Moods is a little bit more on the blue side. Either way though, they're excellent mods and I'm a big fan of both of them. Fallout is available through the Paradox Ignition's The Mergers files, so you have to keep that in mind. We're going to be installing it using that methodology. You may notice Fallout isn't as dark inside Megaton. This may have to do with the Megaton lighting overhaul. I'm not really sure what quite happened with this clip, but there we go. The final mod that we're going to be looking at is Project Reality. This is a really awesome mod that not only changes the weather, not only changes the lighting, but also adds weather to the game, as well as giving you dark nights and customizations. So these scenes are not apples to apples comparisons because Project Reality uses its own custom weather engine, which adds rain and all sorts of other things. It looks awesome. I mean, look at that overcast sky. That is super ultra cool in my opinion. Of course, all of these mods get rid of the green haze that's in front of the lens, which is a big plus in my opinion. If you're looking at something a little bit more vanilla, you can also download the mod Clarity, which will remove the green haze while keeping the vanilla weather. Clarity is an awesome mod too, and I've been using it in a lot of my screenshots and video clips for the beginning of this series because I hate that green haze. I think it makes everything look awful, but I also didn't want to just install a weather mod on you without telling you. Finally, Project Reality leaves the scene very dark here in this area. Not 100% sure why, but there we go. Anyways, now that we had enough chance to look at these files, let's go ahead to the installation. Now, whatever weather mod you pick, the installation process is going to be fairly simple. First, I'm going to cover the downloading, starting off with DC Moods. If you intend to install DC Moods, head over to the file page for this mod, go over to the file section. From here, you're going to download the main file with Manager, and if you intend to use Point Lookout or the Pit, download those as well. You can also download the optional file for the Crazy Suns, which adds really cool sunburst effects. While I personally don't use this, it looks really cool, and I know some people like the sunburst effects, so you can just download that one with Manager as well. If you intend to install Fallout 3 Project Reality, head over to the Files section for this mod. It's a single file, just download it with your Manager. The Fallout download and installation is a little bit more complicated because there's more files and there's a Paradox Ignition file to go along with it. The first thing you need to do is download the main file with Manager, then download the DLC support, finally download the 123 update. If you'd like, you can also download the greener grass, although I personally prefer to use different mods to improve the greenery in the game. After you've done that, head over to the Paradox Ignition The Mergers file, and you're going to have to go to the file section of this and download Fallout from here. So just download Fallout Merged from Manager. Keep in mind that you're going to have to do the same thing we've done in the past with the mergers. Go over to this area and check out what needs to be replaced. Finally, to install Fallout Streetlights, head over to the file section of that one and just download the main file. with Manager, and that's all you need to do. For the Megaton lighting overhaul, it is very similar. Just download with Manager and get ready to go. Once DC Moods is downloaded, just double click on the file here, hit Manual, and then set the data directory. After that, you should be good to go. The mod will finish installing, and then you can just check it off in the main pane. Project Reality is similarly simple. All you need to do is activate the main file, hit Manual, and you're good to go. It's even already in the right format. Just give it a few moments to install and you should be good to go. Check it off, set your load order, launch the game. You'll get a message telling you when this one's ready and some kind of annoying, in my opinion, music. If you intend to install Fallout, it's one of the more annoying ones, although it's still not that difficult. The first thing you're going to want to do is install the main file of Fallout, selecting Manual and clicking OK. Then you want to install the update, hitting Manual, clicking OK, and then selecting Merge. Then you're going to want to install the DLC support for Fallout, which once again needs to be done with the manual, setting data directory and hitting merge. Finally, what you're going to need to do is head over to the Fallout file, double click on it to open it up, go to the optional ESP section, and you're going to want to move the DLCs, full, everything except for this Pip-Boy one up, and hit close. Then what you're going to want to do is install the Fallout Merged, keeping in mind that you're going to need to select the correct naming scheme. So in this case, we're going to call it Fallout. After that, hit Manual, make sure that everything's working, hit Merge, click OK, double check to see that everything has been installed correctly. So as we can see, there's a new Fallout Full ESP. Check it off and Fallout has been installed. The streetlight mods and Megaton lighting overhaul are also very simple to install. They're basically just click and installs, as you can see here. I'll just go over it really quickly just in case you want some, coverage of that, I guess. So we'll just set the data directory there. Now, before you finish everything up, just make sure you run your load order optimization tool Loot and create your bash patches and all that kind of stuff. If you're not familiar with how to do that, don't worry because we are going to be covering it eventually in this series, but for now, thank you very much for watching the episode. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to my channel and leaving a comment down below letting me know what you would like to see next. I almost screwed up saying that, but we're not going back. This is the outro. We don't refilm the outro, and by refilm, I mean re-record. Like the video, dislike the video, do whatever you feel like doing to the video, as long as the video consents to doing it, of course, because I was here on this channel, we do not support any sort of... What am I even talking about? Anyway, yeah, let me know what you'd like to see next. This series is coming to a close, but there's going to be more Fallout stuff in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Xuul, and I hope that you have an excellent day. Goodbye!